Hey everyone, it's Suey here. I just thought I would do a little quick chit-chatty video because I was tagged in sort of a tag or sort of a response video. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I was tagged by Meg at Books Off the Beaten Path, and she is doing this response video after being tagged by James from Quaint and Curious Volumes, and he was doing it in response to Katie Books, which I think is the one that started it. And I don't know, like I said, if this is an official tag or just sort of a discussion video and that people are kind of getting on the bandwagon for. And I thought there were some things that I could say about this. So I'm going to jump in on it also. So there's just a few questions. The first one is, do you feel obligated to read? And I think that the original video, this is in relation to booktubing. So in relation to booktubing, yes, I am obligated to read. I feel obligated to read because I'm doing a channel about books. So I need to read books, right? Otherwise, I need to do a channel about something else that I am involved in doing. So in that sense, I am obligated to read if I want to keep the channel going. But if you take the channel out of it and the booktubing out of it, then I don't necessarily feel obligated to read. I am just a reader, and I read because I love it, not that I'm obligated to, right? I kind of think of it in both ways. So obligated to in relation to the channel, but not necessarily in life, for life in general. Although I do feel like a normal person should read. People who don't read, I don't know how to say this nicely. There might be something wrong with them if they don't want to read at all. So that's what I mean by normal. Hopefully that didn't sound too harsh. Numbers aren't everything. Do I agree or disagree? Well, you know that I've talked about numbers before. This is regarding BookTube again, right? They aren't everything, but they are important, I think. They are important to keep us motivated, to keep us feeling validated, to keep us feeling like there's somebody out there listening to us, because it doesn't make sense to be doing this unless we feel like we're having a discussion with other people and connecting with other people. So they're important in that way, but they aren't everything. They aren't the bottom line for the reason for doing this. We talk about this all the time. The bottom line is connecting and having a discussion and having an outlet for the passion. So that's the reason we do that. We all do this, I think. It's the reason I do it. But in the end, in order to get all those things, you have to have somebody watching. So it's a catch-22, as they say. So it's really nice to know that there's people out there that are watching, and that comes back to numbers. But we don't need to have huge numbers. So we just need to have, our friends out there who are paying attention to what we're doing. This one is, do you feel pigeonholed? Do you feel the need to make content on certain things and feel pigeonholed? I don't. I feel like this one is more talking about the big YouTubers, the people who do have a huge following, who are feeling some sort of pressure from their viewers to do certain things. That's a different struggle and problem that popular big YouTubers and booktubers have. Small people like me who really don't have a huge following or audience we can pretty much do whatever. People aren't asking me or telling me what I should and shouldn't do. That is for sure. Nobody cares. But if I want to connect, like I was just saying for the previous question, then I do have to do certain things. I feel like tags and videos like this where we're all having a discussion, or participating in some events or buddy reads, or that's not necessarily pigeonholed, but just feeling like if you want to connect, then you kind of need to participate in what people are doing. So, and that's kind of take it or leave it as far as a small YouTuber goes. You can just decide what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And I feel like I do this fairly well, but I also feel like when I hear what everybody else is doing, I feel like I'm missing out on so many things still. So maybe I haven't quite figured this out yet. I don't know. But pigeonholed, definitely not the word for what I feel like I'm doing here on this channel. Are you reading for the algorithm? I don't even really understand what reading for the algorithm would look like. Does that mean reading all the most popular books? Then that's definitely not me. I read books that I hear many other people talking about. That's to say that I also read books that people are talking about sometimes, because I do want to be part of the discussion, and kind of in the know of what everybody else is loving. So I kind of do both. I read my own stuff that nobody's heard of, and I read, things like YA that not only a handful of people are into. So I would say no, I do not read for the algorithm, obviously, because the algorithm doesn't even know I exist. So I am obviously not reading for it. I don't even know what I would do to read for it, because even if I did read the buzzed about books, it doesn't really work. The algorithm to me is not anything that I can manipulate. So it's just not part of my strategy here on BookTube. Let's see. And then the last question is, what's the worst part of content creation for books? I don't know that there's necessarily anything that's the worst part. I guess for me, the worst part is just keeping up and, wanting to participate in more things and not really being able to, because I kind of am more of a mood reader, read what I want when I want. Like, let's say, for instance, the Read What Your Own challenge that's happening right now. I want to participate because that's what I do anyway. I read what I own, but I also can't commit to that, because what if I need to read something else that just pops up and it's not something that I own? So, it's like I can't commit to things like that. So I think that's the hardest part for me, is keeping up with what's going on, keeping up with events, keeping up with trying to stay connected with everyone, keeping up with watching other people's channels and commenting so that that I'm out here. I don't have a problem keeping up with comments on my own channel, because I don't get enough comments that stress me out. So that's not something, but just watching everyone else's and commenting is kind of hard to keep up on. And then just fitting in the reading time with the YouTubing time, with the writing time, with the grandkid time, with, life. I think that's the hardest part. So editing is fun for me. So that is definitely not the hardest part for creating content. I look forward to it when I finally get the actual filming done that I'm doing like now. Then I look forward to the editing part. That's the fun part. The filming part's not so fun. Because I just know I look like a dork on this channel, but whatever. So yeah, I guess, does that answer the question? The worst part for me? I think the whole discussion for this particular response is feeling pressure to do certain things, and I don't feel that. I don't feel pressure to read certain things or make content for certain things, or just the pressure, I guess, to stay connected and participate in things so that everyone knows that I am here and that I exist and that I want to be part of it. And I guess that's the end for that. I don't know if anybody else wants to do this. Some of these people tagged people like a tag, but I'm just saying to all of you out there, if you have any thoughts or ideas about this particular subject on BookTube, then go ahead and do a video and then let me know, and I will come join you in the discussion. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.